What's up guys, welcome to Supercars of London. Welcome back Tony from Gravelwood Cars to, well, Supercars of London. This is my second sort of favourite time seeing you because first favourites are always to do with Lamborghinis.
Yeah.
But
makes you change to something else.
Exactly, it's still Italian though. It is still Italian because behind me we've got Tony's daily driver, which is the Giulia Quadrifoglio QV. And I don't think this has actually been done on the internet before. M3 versus...
Never saw it.
No. But behind are two 4-seater powerful super saloon cars, family cars.
In the pouring rain.
In the pouring rain with ridiculous power, rear wheel drive, and this should be an interesting comparison test. First thing that we're going to do is jump into my M3 and we're going to rattle off the pros and the cons of the car before we jump in that. And it's going to be the first time that I get behind the wheel of this car, and I have to say that having them next to each other, I already prefer the looks of the Alfa. And on the way over here, an hour drive, I saw 3 BMW M3s and 2 M4s and not one Giulia. Apart from that one. Let's get the cameras rigged up and then head into the M3. You're going to jump in the passenger seat and we're going to try and talk as much as we can about serious things. Okay. So my favourite bits about the BMW M3, other than its practicality, an incredible amount of space, rear seat space and boot space, is that how flexible this car is to set up. I've got M1 and M2 where I can obviously customise my entire setup and configuration on the car, so I can have it in comfort mode suspension, but I can have the engine in race if I wanted to nip in and out of cars on the M25. There is something about this car that makes it so flexible. We've got the buttons down here where we can set up the engine mode, we can set up the suspension, we can also set up the steering. Steering is my favourite part in this car. Yeah.
How do you have it?
By an absolute mile. Right now I've got it in comfort mode, but my dream setup is M2, which is basically everything is in Sport Plus and traction fully off. It just does one massive burnout. And then back to M1. Okay. And it's like that. This is why I love this car. But going back to the steering, it just feels bang on. It feels as close to perfection as I think that I've driven in a car.
In Sport? Or
no, Sport Plus.
In Sport Plus?
In Sport Plus. I don't think I've driven an Alfa Romeo.
Never?
I've been in Sam's 4C, but that's it. And luckily, after the Giulia Quadrifoglio QV, I'm going out to Switzerland to drive the new Stelvio, which is their first SUV, which I'm very excited about. Yeah, so it's going to be in the snow, it's going to be on tarmac, and I'm going to get a proper feel for it. But I'd also like there to be a Giulia QV out there as well, so I can get more into that car. Yeah.
I'm not going to talk too much about the Giulia until we're in it. Yeah, but they're different.
They're different.
They're different.
The M3, as right there's a 3 Series driving past. There are so many of them on the road that it kind of gets a little bit diluted when you see one. They still do look cool and aggressive, but I still feel like the Alfa Romeo is more of a sense of occasion.
It's got a bit more presence.
Yeah, even when you pulled up, and it was the first time that I saw it that morning, I was like, oh my god, that looks cool. It does look really, really cool. Yeah. Because the M3's original setup is not a naturally aspirated V8, it's very difficult to try and engineer that or even try and compete with previous M3s. Because the E92, the E46, they did sound amazing. They did sound good, yeah. Whereas this, obviously, it's so different. The tone is a little bit flat. What I love as well is when you lift off, and it just gives a massive bar. And it just sounds like a swarm of bees chasing you. I'm trying to get the power down, and I've just got the traction control light coming up the entire time. Kind of the
You wait till you get in that Alfa.
Right, I feel like after that, let's go and jump in the QV.
Yeah, we're going to have a coffee. A toilet.
Well, first impressions, seeing as the BMW interiors are literally taken out of one car and put in another, this is a breath of fresh air.
It's different, isn't it?
It's, I'm gonna have to move your seat, sorry.
No problem. Little legs.
Little leg.
like little Flintstone.
Here we go, rear wheel drive, 500 brake horsepower plus. I'm a massive sucker for Alcantara steering wheels.
Yeah.
So the fact that this is a mixture of leather, Alcantara and carbon fibre and a bit of sort of stainless steel there.
Yeah.
Alfa are winning on the design of the interior.
Everything's a lot more simple in here,
right,
than the M3. The M3's a lot more clinical. I would, with all the nice stitching, I'd say it's slightly better finished.
Yeah, I like the green and the white stitching.
Yeah.
I suppose that's tying with the red from the outside as the Italian flag.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a nice touch.
Yeah, with the clover leaf and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, that probably might make more sense. The paddles on here are incredible.
Yeah, big paddles.
Like, the paddles on the M3 feel like no one thought about them at all. It wasn't an afterthought. They just was like, there you go.
Yeah.
And it's a real letdown, especially when you want to drive in manual and you want everything to be as racy as possible.
Yeah.
And you just don't get that sense of like being in a race car because, well, you haven't got the paddles to like bang through the gears. Whereas this, like, oh, they're everywhere.
Work of art. Yeah, they are.
Which I feel that this car is, as a whole, better. Not better design. That's not the right word, but it's got a little bit of flair to the design of it, which is the Italian flair that Alfa Romeos are so notorious for doing.
Yeah.
Which is so cool because they're building a super saloon, 4-seater family car with over 500 brake horsepower. You don't want to blend in with the rest of the cars like Mercedes and BMW are doing.
Absolutely.
But it is a nice car to cruise around in. I get why people are excited about it.
Yeah. It is a proper car. Like,
can we put it in manual?
Put it in manual. So this is how you get the Sports on. This is how you get into Bark now.
Okay.
So there's two ways to get into Bark: manual, using the paddles.
Yeah.
Or over 3,000 revs. There's 3 ways. Or race, and it's constantly on. But that turns the traction control off.
Wait. So if you put it in race,
it then Sports is constant.
ESC off.
Yeah, but you've got no traction control now. So
is there a button to override that?
Exactly, there isn't. Whereas your car's got a button. This is what I'm saying. This is an afterthought. This is
what race mode is it?
What? So race run.
So right now, if I floored it, I'd do a burnout.
You would end up in that tree. Unless you wait until it gets going. It is.
Yeah. Okay, so I think the BMW then, in terms of flexibility of setting the car up, wins hands down.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot better thought out.
Yeah.
Whereas this, like some of this, is all afterthought. Oh, okay. Damn, we forgot this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Daily, which I'm so used to this car which I've just jumped into for the first time. I love the seats, I love the interior, I love the design of this car, but I still think that I would buy and want to own my M3 more. I feel it's a more desirable car, this being a little bit niche and quirky, which is a cool thing.
Yeah, I guess if you asked me right now which one I would pick, it would be this.
Yeah, but that's what you have picked.
Because that's what and I've already had an M3. And I've already had a
yeah, of course.
M3.
Yeah. So you wanted to try something different.
Yeah.
If you want to be in the exclusive club of sort of having a more rarer car, then this is definitely the option to go to. These roads are quite good around here. Oh, I feel like such a child, but these roads are just too good to pass up the opportunity. Woo! Okay, yeah. I think we summarised it quite well.
Quirky.
Clinical.
That's the difference between the two.
Yeah. The BMW is clinical. It feels like, as they have been, and it comes through with the build quality and the way the car is set up. BMW have been building that car for years.
Yeah.
Whereas this, for Alfa Romeo, is kind of like the first of its kind.
Yeah.
And they've had a bloody good stab at it.
Yeah.
And I think that it's a really, really exciting car. And the further developments that this car is going to probably have in the future, and if this engine goes into the Stelvio QV as well, that's just going to blow like things like the Macan out of the water.
Yeah.
In terms of another alternative option. I feel like I'm getting a bit hot now. But if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. All of your support means so much to me. Head over to Gravelwood Cars because yes,
this is for sale.
This is for sale?
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't have driven it so hard if it was for sale.
Well, that's what it's for.
Oh, that's what it's built for anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the next owner is going to drive it probably even harder. So.
Yeah.
That is it. Let me know your thoughts on what car you would prefer, BMW M3 versus Giulia QV. Head into the comments and yeah, write what you would pick if you won the lottery or if you bought one of them.
Giulia.
We're going to end up having a fight on camera. Ferrari, Lamborghini, Ferrari, Giulia, BMW. Oh man, well it's been a load of fun and I will see you very, very soon, probably within 24 hours because my Stelvio drive will be going live and then it's Geneva. So loads to look forward to and I'll see you very soon. Cheers guys.